Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings. The New York Knicks just took care of business tonight, winning the second game of a back-to-back at home at MSG, 113-109 over the Washington Wizards, who, honestly, it shouldn't have been this close, though it was the second game of a back-to-back. But this team has won 7 games all season. Midway through, we're across the halfway point in the season, and they've only won 7 games. That's how bad this team is, and the Knicks needed a Herculean Brunson performance in the fourth quarter to just pull this game out. I'm concerned. I know this is the second or third recap in a row where I've used that word again, concerned. To struggle to win games like this against lowly teams, what it tells me is this team needs some help. It needs some help. Despite the amazing start to the OG Anunoby era. The Knicks are now 8-2 in the OG era. Right now, I mean, the stats are amazing, but I feel like there's a cost for all of this. There's a Faustian penalty that's going to come at some point for Thibs and the Knicks by actually overworking their players. Let me show you this here. This is right now. This is the minutes since the trade has happened. These are the minutes for January. Right now, the Knicks have almost 4 players playing 36 minutes or more. Randall's at 35.9. Let's just say they have 4 players averaging 36 minutes. They're starters. Josh Hart is the next guy who didn't play tonight. He's injured. Interesting, nursing an injury. He's been averaging 27.5 minutes. Dante's at 25.6, but look at Grimes, under 18, is at 17.6. He's playing less now than he was before the trade. Strange. McBride is about 17 minutes a game, and then Precious around 12. Malachi, we didn't even see him tonight. They probably won't see him play much at all now that Brunson is back. Brunson had to play. Here I got highlights for you guys. We're gonna break this game down. Let's get into it here. 113-109, as I mentioned, and look at where we are right now. This is the upside of what's been happening. Look at this. The Knicks are now 25-17, 8 games over 500. They are firmly in 5th place, just a half game behind 4th, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have played 3 less games than the Knicks. So that could go many different ways. And Miami's right behind the Knicks, a half a game behind us, and then Indiana 1 game behind us. So it's really clustered up there between from 4 to 7. But I'll tell you, the Knicks are the better team in that bracket, that area right there. However, the way that what we need to do to win games may end up costing us down the road. I even saw Brunson late in that fourth quarter grabbing his leg during a timeout. They wrapped it. They were treating it. But he came out. Didn't matter. In the fourth quarter, he lit the Wizards up for 20 points on 6 of 9 shooting. He did not attempt the 3-pointer in the fourth quarter, interestingly enough. They hit 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 20 points, 3 assists, even got a steal, and he's even got credit for a block. Here's his points. Jalen Brunson tonight, 41 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Oh, man, outstanding. 2 steals and 1 block, 52% field goal shooting, 50% from the three-point line overall. 5th most 40-point games in the NBA this season, thanks to Brunson Muse for tweeting this out. That is fabulous. Let's get to the highlights. Here we go. The game started off kind of choppy. Actually, Washington built a little lead, but the Knicks came back, did a nice job taking control. Though I believe the first quarter, I don't have first quarter stats for some reason here. The first quarter, they ended up tied 22-all. That was very anemic. It was a pretty ugly game. That first half was ugly. It was so ugly, actually. Let me pull up some notes here that I got while I was watching the game. The craziest thing, at the half, the Knicks bench had played a total of 30 minutes. They only contributed 5 points. And those were all from deuce. New York was shooting only 19% from the three, but they somehow had a lead 46-45 going into with the second half to play. It was a very fugly first half. The second half was a little bit better, but basically it was going into the third quarter. Knicks only had a 1-point lead going into the third quarter. So this was much tighter than it needed to be. But as I said, the Wizards are one of those weird teams that they're better than their record. I mean, they got some players on that team. They just, they're missing Gafford now. But I don't know, they just don't have quite the chemistry. Their play style isn't quite there, but they've got pieces. So they're an odd team. And then with Kyle Kuzma doing things like that, he'll probably get traded, or maybe not. Actually, there's talk that the Wizards are interested in building around him. Jordan Poole hitting from the corner there. But as you can see, look, we were down 6, and then it took a Brunson heroic right there. Our Brunson reliance is very, very troublesome. Basically, if he goes down for any stretch of games, it's going to be very difficult for the Knicks to win. Just period. It's going to be very difficult to win. So, what's the solution? Well, based upon all the stuff that I've read, and digested today about the Knicks and the trade market and all these options of players and whatnot or whatever, honestly, there's really only one player that makes sense at the moment based upon everything that's been spoken, where the Knicks are looking to add a player who may be on contract for next season as well, so then he'll still be a nice tradable piece. So it's basically flipping Fournier's $18 million contract for a player who'll contribute, who'll fill the role that IQ had before, and at the same time will be a valuable piece in a trade for a big star in the offseason. So all those things, you combine all those things, and then you look at what Portland is asking for Malcolm Brogdon. They're asking for a first-round pick. Well, the Knicks got a bunch of them. I think this might be a situation they're asking just for one first-round pick. I am very concerned if this situation. I know they're saying, the Knicks are they're really gunning for the off season to make their big move, and they have next season to try to really contend, and then the season after that. Well, you know what? That's all well and fine when you have like very, very, very young players like we had 3 seasons ago. Well, we're not there anymore. And in fact, we've traded away 3 of our 4 or 5 young players. And now our team is getting a little bit older. They're now in the timeline of teams that need to start putting it together and start contending. I think this is the season to go for it. This is the season. The Bucks are vulnerable defensively. The Celtics totally look like world beaters, obviously. They look like the best team, no doubt. But the Sixers, for some reason, I'm not sold on them. I think the Knicks could really play them well, especially if we get Mitch back in time for a playoff series. So we have Mitch, Hartenstein, even throw out Jericho out there to just get some fouls, whatever it is. I like this team this year trying to make to not go all in, necessarily, but do as much as you can by adding players that can give this team the best chance to go as far as they can in the playoffs. Which for us would be the Eastern Conference Finals, would be a tremendous build from last season. That's where I'm looking at right now. Because puttering out in the second round again will feel very disappointing. And if they don't even get out of the first round, that will be horrific. So this is the time. And if it's going to cost us the first round, Malcolm, I know the injury issues or whatever, but we just need him for a half season in the playoff run. He can do that. He can do it. And also, he's not necessarily going to play a shit ton of minutes either, because as we move on, when Brunson's cooking, look at him. He is just, look, this is the fourth quarter when he just took over. Moves like that. We were up 4 right there. Then it got up to 6. He hit the N1, got up to 7 there. Nice little dish to Precious. I think that might be his only bucket. Yeah, that was his only bucket. But you know what? The Wizards hung around. They had a nice fourth quarter themselves. they scored, they put up 37 points in the fourth quarter, the Wizards. They shot 4 of 6 from the three-point line, 66.7%. They shot 52% overall in that fourth quarter. They got 25 shot attempts in that fourth quarter to just 19 for us. So they had an additional 6 shot attempts. But the Knicks were just lights out. And really, when I say the Knicks, I meant really Jalen Brunson. But Dante DiVincenzo had a nice fourth quarter in his 10 minutes, 2 of 4, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, hit 2 of his free throws to contribute 8 points. And Julius Randle in his 8 minutes hit all 3 of his buckets, and one of them was a big three-point shot. And he also contributed 8 points. So the Knicks finished with 40 points in that fourth quarter. Big fourth quarter for the Knicks. But look, right there, only a 3-point game with 4 minutes left. So this is look, and it takes moves like this. Now, that's totally within his wheelhouse, but as you'll see as the highlights go on, he had to work very, very hard. Almost to the point where it's, he could have passed it to OG right there. But he was grooving. He was grooving. So right there now, build it up to a 7-point lead with 2 minutes left. And then nice pass to Dante with the reverse, but didn't make it, and Julius with the putback there. Now you'd think that was it, right? The game would be over. It still got close. Right here. Oh, here's the three-pointer that I mentioned. Nice. That was a big one. That was a big three-pointer. Here now it's a 5-point game with 11 seconds left. All right. That was pretty much it. That's all they wrote. Okay. So, why am I talking so much about minutes and trades? Well, it's because this guy right here is proving to be a 1A. I know he's small. I know you can put bigs on him and disrupt him a bit, but that's what Wizards tried to do tonight. Now, Wizards, they're not a good defensive team, but even good defensive teams have struggled trying to stop Jalen Brunson. And if you surround Jalen with enough three-point shooting around him, this could be the year where the Knicks can actually make a serious deep run in the playoffs. He is on fire right now. Like it says right there, 5th most 40-point games. And then you have Randle. Randle, who's been cooking. Though sometimes he frustrates me personally, the way his style of play, his decision-making, but there's no doubt he's been cooking. And he's, another all-star deserving type year for him. And then you have OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby played all 12 minutes in that fourth quarter. Only got 2 points. They all came from the free throw line and picked up 2 rebounds, but his defense is just elite. So you have like OG, elite defense. You have Hartenstein, who's playing, at incredibly high level at the 5 position. And then we might get Mitch back. Hopefully we'll get him back before the playoffs. Maybe it'd be nice to get him back a whole month before the playoffs, so he can get his conditioning back, especially with an ankle surgery. So let's see. He's an elite defender right now. And then you also have, we'll see. Grimes will probably be the one who gets traded, but I don't think you need to trade Grimes to bring in Brogdon. At this point, I don't want to see him go. I don't. We need as much three-point shooting as possible. I see no value in getting rid of him for a piece that's, Brogdon is not a similar piece because Brogdon actually run the offense and he's a seasoned vet. He's been on winning teams. So it's not the same, but his potential is what we'd be selling low on at this point. So I wouldn't want to do that. I'm talking about Grimes' potential. All right, here are the box score. 21 points for Randle, 8 of 17 shooting for him. Randle, how many turnovers did Randle have? 5 turnovers for Randle. 5 turnovers. But he did shoot 3 of 8 overall from the three-point line. 8 rebounds, 5 assists to go along with his 5 turnovers. In the plus-minus, so I'll show you when we get to the plus-minus thing there. But as you can see, Precious, only 2 points for the bench in the second half. Now, they didn't get many minutes, so it was hard to even be able to put up buckets if you're not on the floor. It's impossible. Let's see. Grimes played 9 minutes in the second half, and Precious about 3.5 minutes. So combined, the two of them played about, let's say they played about 13 minutes. 13 minutes combined. And they contributed 2 points. That is atrocious. That's atrocious. OG played 20.13 minutes. Randall, 20 minutes. Isaiah, 20 minutes and 36 seconds. Brunson, 24 minutes. Brunson played the entire second half. Just assimilate that. Brunson played the entire second half. But he provided 25 points, 8 of 15 shooting. Only put up one 3-point attempt in that second half. Interesting. And Dante, 22 minutes for him. 4 of 11 overall. He missed his 2 buckets inside the arc, but he made all 4. He put up the 9 3-point attempts, connected on 4 of them, 44.4%. That's beautiful numbers. Beautiful numbers. And OG was 3 of 4 in the second half, but that was all third quarter. OG had a very big third quarter. He had 13 points in the third quarter, hit all 3 of his 3-point shots, but he only picked up 1 rebound in that third quarter. The rebounding, it's interesting. Interesting situation there. Let's keep moving on. As you can see, the plus minus. Here we go. So Randall is the only starter who is a minus in the plus minus. So in his gargantuan amount of minutes, in his 39 minutes of play, so 39 minutes that he was on the court, the Knicks lost to the Wizards by 1 point. Interesting. Anunoby, 19 points today. He was a plus 10. And Dante was the team high with a plus 15, and it showed. Dante had a very good game. He was a good connector. He had an excellent shovel pass to Isaiah Hartenstein as he drove to the basket for a dunk. Let's see, what other things did I miss out on here? Randall, the very beginning of the game, Randall was all alone. Fast break, the ball in his hands, and he just let it go out of bounds. He wasn't even guarded. But then he immediately got a chance to rectify that almost on literally the very next play. The Knicks were able to steal the ball, and Brunson threw it. Randall had leaked out. I mean, he finished. Beautiful. Let's see. Fournier played because Josh Hart was hurt. But there was that one point there, man. The Knicks were up 10, and the Wizards went on a nice run. It was a 16-point turnaround to take a 6-point lead with just 5 minutes left in the first half for the Wizards. So that's how much the Knicks were struggling. Then the Knicks, they built a 7-point lead early in that third quarter, but they let the Wiz go on an 8-0 run to take the lead 69-68 with 2:21 left. But then the Knicks, at that point, they came back out. It was a nice play call for Brunson. He came and connected. And I think the Knicks just never gave up the lead after that point. So it's a good response that they had. But it requires Brunson's brilliance. We need Brunson's brilliance to just beat a 7-win team like this by just a few points. So if you're not concerned, share that with me. Make me feel better about this, because right now I am. I'm definitely nervous. Here are the Wizards' numbers. You can see, look, 20 for Bagley. Matt Bagley was traded to the Wizards. Nice first game for him. 10 of 16 overall, 11 rebounds. He had a double-double. 15 assists for Tyus Jones, though he only gave him 2 points. 1 of 6 overall. He really was ineffectual offensively, but as individual, but defensive in terms of distributing the ball, did a very good job. 5 assists for Kuzma, 15 points for him. Only 1 of 5. He struggled from the 3-point line. The whole starting unit struggled from the 3-point line. Not the bench. Their bench came through. Look at that. Shamet, 3 of 4. Koulibaly, 1 of 3. Wright, 1 of 1. Kispert, 2 of 3. So their bench came through with some production, unlike ours. Here are the team comparisons. The Knicks shot 34.2% from the 3-point line. Again, they connected. They made 13 3-pointers last night, and they made 13 3-pointers tonight. Beautiful. Let's keep that going. There were 38 attempts. That's borderline. I'd like it to be a little bit higher, but okay, I'll take that as a bare minimum. The free throw line was definitely the Knicks' friend today. They went there 26 times, connected on 22 of them, 84.6% for them. The rebounding battle was almost even. just a +2 for the Knicks. 47 bounds for the Knicks, 45 for the Wizards. And the assists, the Knicks only had 22 assists. And mostly it's because Brunson doesn't need assists to get his buckets. He gets it all on his own, but that's he has to put so much energy into making those buckets himself. There's going to be wear and tear. It's just going to be wear and tear as we move forward in this season. And if there's not, great. Then this is the season. Let's just ride him and let's go as far as we can. But at some point, this will have to be addressed. And I hope it's tomorrow. I hope I wake up tomorrow and Leon has pulled the trigger and he's brought in some reinforcements for that second unit and to help make Brunson's life easier, the way Emmanuel Quickley used to do. Because they used to even share the courts, as you guys know. And Quickley would take the lead sometimes and do the playmaking. And that really would make life easier for Brunson. We need that again. Points in the paint. Knicks lost that battle, 56-48. Points off turnovers. Ooh, Knicks allowed 23. Ooh, wow, that's nasty. That's nasty because the Knicks committed 19 turnovers tonight. They were sloppy with the ball. As you can see, the Wizards once had a 6-point lead, but the Knicks came away with the win. Yes. All right. I mean, I'm happy. I'm concerned. Nervous. Like all these feelings because this feels like a really good team, but it feels like it's built upon a very shaky foundation, which is basically lack of depth. We went from a team that was one of the deepest teams in the NBA to basically one of the shallowest teams right now, especially when you consider Mitch Robinson is out. Because if Mitch was playing, then it'd be a little different. But when Josh Hart is out and you got Mitch is out, we're going to be in that phase of the season where every week, a couple of key players are probably going to sit out games because of just injuries, nagging injuries. Just the mileage is built up over the whole season. And the grueling type, like the way that Thibs just manages their minutes. This is the second game of a back-to-back tonight. And we have 4 players that played 38 minutes or more. And Isaiah Hartenstein played 38 and a half minutes. Randall played 39 minutes. Brunson played 40 minutes and 21 seconds. And OG Anunoby played 42 minutes and 38 seconds. And Dante DiVincenzo played 37 and a half minutes. That's going to fry your team. So, Leon, make it happen. Let's bring some people in to reinforce this, to make up for, the hit in our depth that we took from the OG trade. It just has to happen sooner now than later. If you wait too long, the cost could be even higher. All right, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you are alerted when I drop videos, and hit the thumbs up button for me, and drop your comments. Definitely want to hear all your thoughts and feelings about the New York Knicks. And I will see you Saturday. RJ and IQ come to town to play against their former team. I want everybody to stand and salute those two. They played their hearts out for us. They left it on the floor every night, and they should be applauded for it. Okay, I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.